Our group focused on the impact of inefficient waste management to the oceans by Caleb Bowers, myself, Aaron Brown, William Smith, and Charles Stevens. We're discussing the ineffectiveness in waste management that harms marine life, specifically destroying coral reefs, and the negative impacts for humans. Approximately 1 million marine animals are killed annually due to oceanic debris. 80% of that pollution is contributed from agricultural or industrial runoff, and most of those are either fertilizers or pesticides. Additionally, there are 8 million tons of plastic that's dumped into the oceans annually, and 70% of that sinks to the seafloor, 15% of it floats, and another 15% of it is deposited on the beaches. This is important because of how harmful it is to the environment. It's destroying marine habitat, it's bringing in chemical pollutants from land to the sea, and this also affects our drinking water. Debris accumulates and damages habitats by altering the light levels that can penetrate the water. This causes some animals to migrate away from their natural habitats. Plastics degrade into much smaller pieces known as microplastics, and then they're eaten by fish, turtles, birds, and this is extremely toxic not only to them, but because of biomagnification, it's also very harmful to humans because it travels up the food chain. Coral reefs are being degraded as well, and because of their wide support for marine life, it's causing many animals to die off. Coral reefs exist primarily in warm, shallow coastal waters, in which humans have had a very negative impact. They support 25% of marine life, while only making up 1% of the ocean. They require very low nutrients. However, an overabundance have been contributed from fertilizers, sewage, animal waste, and other sources, and this all contributes to algae growth. That blocks the reefs from receiving sunlight and disrupts photosynthesis required for the symbiotic algae. In the bottom right is an example of coral bleaching, and that's a result of overuse of pesticides and herbicides. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a prime example of inefficient waste management. It's accumulated from discarded trash and the currents in the Pacific Ocean that has compacted it all together. The Pacific Trash Vortex contains approximately 79,000 tons of plastic and covers an area of 617,800 square miles. It's twice the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France. By 2050, scientists are expecting more plastic in the ocean by weight than fish. So what can be done to help our oceans? First and foremost, we need to reduce our dependency on plastic. 55 countries have already banned or placed restrictions on plastic bags, turning to alternatives such as paper, cotton, or bioproducts. France, Italy, India, and Madagascar have placed higher taxes on plastic bags. And individuals can get involved by choosing metal or paper straws over plastic, reusable metal water bottles, as well as metal utensils. Governments can also help promote recyclable materials and support the efforts already being done to maintain coastal lands. Few countries require recycled materials in plastic manufacturing, and therefore this is promoting plastic production, and we know that the plastic has to go somewhere and it's not always recycled. Therefore, governments need to subsidize the alternatives to plastic and fund the organizations that are assisting with beach cleanups. We also need to increase participation in cleanup projects. Some groups that are already doing this are Ocean Conservancy, Surfrider Foundation, and Greenpeace. And they're working to reduce the amount of plastic by collecting the runoff before it reaches the oceans, starting in the rivers and tributaries. They're also working to restore our fisheries, and they're educating the public about how to reduce their plastic footprint, such as the examples already named, using the sustainable alternatives, and they've been advocating for policy changes regarding wildlife conservation practices. And these are our references. Thank you.